told us that Satan exists. Now, why is it that in Western world, Germany, America, London, or whatever, I mean, if you go there, the existence of Satan may be just a 0% or 1. Whereas in Nigeria, it's 1 million percent. Does it mean that God just chased that Satan only to Nigeria? You know, and then second question is this: can you tell us, just mention 2 problems that are being caused by Satan in Nigeria, either spirit of accident, poverty, or delay in marriage, or whatever? Just any problem you can say that this problem, the government of Nigeria have concluded that this problem is beyond human imagination, that this problem are being caused by Satan. If that problem is actually being caused by Satan, why is it that we have more than 50 million pastors, preachers, prayer warriors for thousands of years? We couldn't be able to defeat this one Satan. Then the second question is, you told us that God healed you from pneumonia. God healed you from pneumonia. There are other women that are begging God, Daddy, my son is dying. He have a cancer, tumor, this and that. And the baby will be crying day in, day night. And the same God that healed you will look at the other woman that the husband is about, even they have just wedded, and they are on their way for wedding, they have an accident, and the woman will be saying, God save my husband. The same God that healed you from pneumonia will be watching the same man going down the grave. Does it mean that God is a partial God? Because I hold you by your word. You told us that God is not partial. Why is it that God doesn't heal you from pneumonia and fail to heal me from my own sickness or the other person's sickness? Can you, tell us more about this particular God that heal one and forget to heal the other one?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, doctor, for your question. Yes, I know you're a doctor, that's why you're passionate about your second question. But let me begin from the first one.
You still have other questions.
Let me begin from the first one. Like I said earlier, so we have limited time on this. Yeah, we have limited time on this broadcast to be able to answer a lot of things and explain them properly. But just to throw light here and there is a reason why we're taking these teasers. I call them teasers.
Yes.
So 2 things that Satan is responsible for in Nigeria. You know, many times what people fail to do, they blame Satan for it many times. And I think to a large extent in Nigeria, our problem is our failure to do what we're supposed to do, both as citizens and as leadership of this country, basically. And that failure to do what we're supposed to do, the part Satan plays there is ignorance. Satan will create a situation where people are ignorant, and ignorance is darkness. And he will sit on the ignorance of men and take advantage of them. But people must make up their minds not to allow for darkness, not to allow for ignorance, and do what they need to do to free themselves from an environment where Satan can inflict them. That's what to be done. The responsibility of building Nigeria is not the responsibility of Satan or the responsibility of God. It's the responsibility of Nigerians. And I know why you feel pained, because you travel out of the country, you go to some of these countries. They are not even mentioning God like we mention God, and yet their society is working. You know, everything is working, everything looks good, everything looks developed. And then you go to a country where everybody's calling God, 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 and nothing seems to be working. Again, it is the responsibility of leadership, and leadership is determined by its citizens, or the citizens are responsible for their leaders. And that's why sometimes we look at some Nigerian leaders and we say some of our leaders are very wicked. They go abroad, they see those societies, and they come back. They are not even thinking of how they can translate some of the things they see abroad into our own community. We have the money, we have the capacity, we have what it will require as a nation to build our nation and make it an envy of nations. You know, so it's not Satan that is responsible for why Nigeria is the way it is. It's not Satan at all. It is men failing to take responsibility for what they are supposed to be responsible for. Howbeit, there are other areas where Satan operates. But like I said, it is not Satan. I mean, Satan can operate in the area of sickness. There are some diseases that are not natural. There are some diseases that are caused by evil spirits. Okay, so sickness is one of those areas. There are also areas of depression. There are some depressions that are caused by evil spirits. There's no amount of medication that frees people from such depressions. So there are things like that that Satan is responsible for. Acts 10:38 says, how God anointed Jesus of Nazareth, who went about doing good and healing all those that were oppressed of the devil. So oppression is from the devil. Oppressed of the devil.
Pastor, I have an exception to what you just said. In the sense that I think believing somebody depression and all those things are caused by evil spirits, it's like
I
or
said
some things
some.
not working.
I said some. I said some. Not
Some,
all.
okay,
Yes.
and
Yes.
attributing that devil is causing ignorance. It's like we're running away from responsibility as a
No,
people.
what I'm saying is that Satan takes advantage of ignorance and he capitalizes on it to do havoc.
What havoc?
I mean, if you are ignorant of something, you are already in darkness, and Satan is the prince of darkness. So he takes advantage of that. He takes you captive of your ignorance.
But do
The
you know
Bible
it's
teaches.
in our part of the world that we attribute all these things to Satan and God?
But again, remember what I told you, because even in America, I come to America, I go to Germany, I go all over the world. I meet people of, the nationals, the white people, the Germans, the Americans, the Britons, who are Christians, and they recognize these things that we're saying. So it's not just in our part of the world.
So they
That's why you have,
attribute something not working to devil and God.
no, if you remember, I said the working of our nation is not Satan or God, is
Okay,
our responsibility.
okay,
But
okay,
I said there are other things that Satan is responsible for.
okay.
Yes, yes.
So, sorry if I'm missing your call. Somebody has been trying to call. Let me see. So 2 more calls, then we are done, sir.
Sure.
Is that okay?
Sure, that would be nice.
All right.